What the hell?
Welcome everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Wahaala Podcast with the Wahaala Boys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, listeners. In this time, well, in case you don't know, in case you listen to this in the future, right? Like in the future, when things have died out. This is trial times. This is a day. This is the time period. Also a day in this time period where coronavirus has got the world at its balls. Okay, it's gripped us now with quarantine and everything. So if you're joining us and you're listening to us, thank you so much for even joining us in this trial period and these trying times. Mr. Person speaking to you right now, you should already know, but just in case you don't know, it's Mr. Nobody. And I have my co-host, the person that can't do this without. The person that most of the time gets emotional and always want to stop the podcast for some reason. Because you always have to rush and go do something else. Nana Kwame, thank you so much for joining us. And then
shut up. You see how, they tell men to, get in touch with their feelings. We get in touch with our feelings and we get crucified for it.
It's called toxic masculinity.
That's not
you
getting
don't
in touch with your feelings.
No, you don't have
what else wrong with
That's
you?
what they label it as. Toxic masculinity.
You see that because you lie. So when people start lying, they can't even pronounce the word.
Toxic
There you go.
I pronounced it, but you just cut me off. But you don't have that, do you? You don't have the toxic masculinity. You don't have it. You're a man again. Like grown men don't cry. No, Nana is a grown man and he cries.
I'm in touch with my feelings.
Yeah,
okay.
Because you cry. Like, it's a good thing, though. Like, I don't even know where that came from, about grown men don't cry. That's wrong. Grown men cry.
We don't say grown men. We said men don't cry. If you're already a man, you're grown. So men don't cry. Don't be a punk.
Okay, that's wrong. Men cry, but they just cry in secret. That's all. That's wrong, but men don't cry. They just don't cry in public. That's all. That's
nah, men don't cry, man. It gotta be hardcore.
Yeah, men don't cry, but they have tears though.
Yeah, now that's not crying. I know you could get tears, but that's just tear dust, isn't it? That's just water in your eye.
Yeah,
but
I don't know who are the perpetrators. They just perpetrate things that we cry. We just don't cry for our female counterparts to see because it's not a weakness. Like it is. It's not a weakness. Like if you cry, what you been a girl for?
These are the one that making their male boys 10.
No, but that's wrong. We should stop doing that. It's not a good thing. It's really not good.
Why is it not a good thing? Look,
it's not good. Like you can't because it's like saying boys plays with cars, like other cars, and girls play with dolls.
Look,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so
but we shouldn't just say like if a boy plays with a doll, then he's like showing the trait of being gay. That's wrong for me.
No, but it's not like.
Yeah, but that's
when I was growing up,
don't cry.
No, we say he's showing feminine qualities, and
which is wrong.
Why is it wrong anyway?
Because how can a girl that's coming up in the world playing with dolls know that she's a female? Or how can a boy that's coming up in the world playing with cars know that he's a male? If not the older people are the ones saying.
Yeah, but the point is, every society,
feminine.
Every society has
it's a bad thing to have.
It is
a bad thing to be feminine.
No, for a man, it is. Look, let's stop lying to ourselves.
Okay.
Let's stop lying to ourselves.
Teach me. How is it?
Okay.
Bad thing?
Now we live in a society that have certain expectations from somebody
that we set, by the way.
That's why I say society.
Yeah, but when you say
the society, the society set it. Yeah. The society, the community that you are in.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're on the same page with that. No, I'm just saying. I just want to make because you say they have certain expectations that could be from God. No, or from space. No. We said it as
Whichever
society.
God you said.
No, we said it as society.
You invented a God.
We are on the same page. It's cool. So continue.
All right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's cool. I just want us to be on the same page.
All right, man.
Okay, so as a society, we have certain expectations that
every society have its own expectations.
Okay, cool.
Every society have its rules and regulations.
Cool.
If you're not happy, usually you move out.
Okay,
or you change something within.
Okay.
That's what happens.
Or we could change expectations as a society.
That's why I said you try to change.
No, you. We society change.
Assuming the society wants to change it with you in it. So that's why you lead a revolution. That's what happens. That's not look.
I get you. Okay, you change it. Okay?
Yes,
you
lead the revolution.
Instigator.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I get that. All right, cool.
So, for instance, you take South Africa, for instance. Mandela wanted to vote. Mandela wanted to be able to do what the white people did.
It took 25 years in
it
jail.
Doesn't matter. The point is,
I don't even think he changed anything, to be honest. I don't even think he changed anything.
Well,
did he?
Well, he became president.
Yep.
He changed something.
No, I mean he became president. That was beneficial for him. But did he change what were the plan? What it was that he went to jail for?
Mbeki was able to become president. Now they got a president that's black. They got black people owning properties. They got black people.
So that's what Mandela really fought for. Is that what he was in jail for?
Because
what was he in jail for? Actually,
if you humped a white, it was a crime to hump a white girl, white man to hump a black woman.
Mandela is Martin Luther King of America for South Africa.
You can look at it that way.
No. I mean,
no,
what you just said
is a bit more than that. But I'm saying you can look at it. So they had
a bit more than that.
Because they're on some level.
I'm saying if you look at what they both stood for,
that's what I'm saying.
What
but Mandela was a little bit more because he was talking about independence and freedom, not just integration.
Did South Africa got that? Though?
They got
their independence.
Yeah, they got their independence and freedom. Now, how they manipulate, how they're holding on to that is a different ballgame.
That's what I'm saying to you. Like, let's not look at what they actually got. Let's look at what it actually is in reality.
No. But you see,
have they actually really got that though?
Let's not turn into political.
You're the one that's going into something.
No, because I was talking about something. And I was just
asking a question.
Yeah, because then I always
I was just asking a question.
We go from A and then we turn.
But I was just asking a question. That's what I was just doing. You're the one that's trying to go into different things.
No, because if you ask a question,
I just say so Martin Luther King of America could be said the same thing. I mean, if you look at what it was that they because these are individuals.
But that's why I said
these are instigators.
Yeah,
they were in the society. They wanted to change what it was. Feminine, for example, being wrong for a man, okay, or a boy. If I wanted to change that, I could be the Mandela or Martin Luther King of that. Yes. I could go and then spend, I don't know, maybe 25 years in jail, maybe, or how many years Mandela spent in jail?
27 or
I could be like, I had a dream. I have a dream that one day a male would be feminine and it would not be bad. Yeah. I could do that.
Yeah, you have a dream that one day your boys will be playing out with dolls. They'll be out here with coal pots and cooking outside while the girls pretended to go to work and the boys pretended to stay in the house and look after the kids.
Why do we have to pretend?
Well, that's what kids used to do. That's why we used to play.
Oh, okay. But it
mom and daddy. That's what we used to play as.
Oh yeah, I got your point now. You're pretending. Okay, like playing.
We played that.
But even
did you grow up as a kid?
I did.
Or did you just wake up when you're an adult?
Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I did.
You had a girl in the house. You pretended. The men went to the work. The women stayed at home.
Yeah, I get your point. Okay, you don't have to stress it out like that. I get.
Am I the one here out here sharing giving all your dream for you?
I get your point. Okay, continue what you're saying.
You have a dream that one day men will be out here menstruating.
That's never gonna happen, by the way.
I don't know.
No, I know.
Nah, we got hormones anyway. We could start fucking with people's hormones. They might not develop ovaries, but they might start, doing certain things. I don't know.
Actually, you're right. I don't know that either, to be honest. You're right. Because what science is doing nowadays with genes and
because
DNAs
a lot of people
stuff,
having what's it called? Yeah, apparently you can take too much estrogen and you can start
Let me ask you a
and
question,
stuff like that.
By the way, you're going to tell me I'm digressing, but I am actually choosing to
I didn't even get to address the South African thing, but anyway.
No, I'm choosing to right now. I'm going to bring you back to it.
There's a Q&A, but, we'll take it.
I'll bring you back to it. I'll bring you back to whatever you were talking about. Why is it that most of these sciencey stuff that are basically being pushed the boundary of, nobody's coming from Africa to do that also? Why is it that it's always the white people or people from this part of the world that end up doing it? Well, why don't we have people that come from countries that we come from, in the countries that we come from, that are currently there pushing the boundaries of science?
Well, it depends on where you want to look at it as, because, like, for instance, if you take saying things, right? It's like even saying diseases, like
the cure for malaria, for example.
Yeah.
It didn't come from there, did it? Didn't come from Ghana, Nigeria, or whatever.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you go back there, they still got they got a traditional way of dealing with things anyway. So that's
yeah. But why is it that is not standard and recognized everywhere in the world as a drug to use? Because like paracetamol, for example, it was created by scientists and stuff, like medical scientists, obviously, theoretical scientists that are like Viagra that they just mistakenly jump on, but it didn't come from.
Because
why are we not part of those trend-setting
our principles
genders?
I'm saying our principles are very different, and the way we work and operate are very different.
I think we should change that. I'm gonna pioneer that. Like I'm gonna be the Mandela and Martin Luther King of that. Like it has to change. Come on, like we can't getting people giving us stuff that is not particularly for us, and we just own it.
I said we could have a different conversation about.
We should. I think we really need to.
The point is, I don't necessarily. This might come across a little bit harsh and a little bit terrible.
The fact that you're just saying that, it's just basically preparing us for making sure that this is going to be really, really hard. So when you say might, you're wrong. It will come across harsh. The fact that you just mentioned that. But go ahead. It's free. This is the Wahaala podcast. You can say whatever you want.
I don't particularly care about whether, somebody somewhere, whether the West, the East, whatever the fuck it is, accepts the way we do things or the way we don't do things. What I care about, right?
That's valid. Why should we though? But why should we? Like,
but anyway, I said like
they don't care about the way they don't care that we care about the way they do.
That's what I'm saying. So personally, I don't care whether we sit at the table or we don't, or whether we get accepted in terms of whatever way we choose to treat diseases get accepted or not. But what I care about, and this is the key thing, what I care about is, like for instance, the AU, the ECOWAS, the East Bloc. Like I'm talking about the East African Bloc and stuff like that. And the sad thing, which is the biggest problem, is the fact that, we as people, we trust the West more than we trust our own, which is a problem.
Yeah, so you take. I wasn't asking that question I'm bringing based on that.
I'm bringing it.
I was looking at it from a different perspective.
Yeah, but I'm bringing it. I'm trying to, because you brought the drugs issue. So you take something like the coronavirus.
Yeah,
at the moment,
and that's kind of like where I was leading to
at the moment. And you listen to these French doctors that were on the TV.
Oh, I've seen that. That's crazy.
That
talking
was about
crazy.
The fact that African countries should be where the vaccine is tested on first.
Because let's be honest, that's where they test most things, though.
That's the point I was going to make. I was going to say, this is not even the first time. HIV was the same thing. They tested HIV.
That's where they test most things.
And the point is this, and this is where what I was saying comes in. Right. So we are out here because these are all led by our own people and our governments. Anyway, because with our government and our own people, nobody can just randomly turn up in a place and start giving people drugs or giving them certain vaccines and that kind of stuff.
Of course, yeah.
So it's like my people always say, "Oh, yeah, phones are not sure." Like, if somebody can get to you, it's always the people that are around you that allows that. So they are the first people you have to look out for first before
like
you
clean up your house and then
before you look at anybody else. Like it's the people closest to you that
like. It's a phrase, right? I'm cleaning up house. That means I'm getting rid of people that betray me. Or people that can betray me.
So if you're looking at it from that perspective, right, this is only relevant, or this is only viable when our own people and our own governments are in on these stupid situations. And that's what comes and then bites us in the backside. But most importantly, and this is even the bigger aspect that we don't talk about, which is not our government, it's us as people.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it from
us as people in terms of what we trust. We trust every Western medicine.
Yeah, but
then we trust
I'm looking
our
at
own.
it from the perspective of the reason why that's the case.
The reason why that's the case.
Because what you're talking about is the result of what I'm talking about.
No, but the reason
and the reason why I say it's the result of what I'm talking about is because, of course, what else would you trust?
Yeah,
what else? I'm genuinely asking that question. What else would you trust as individuals in these individual countries? What else can you trust, or what else would you trust when your kind of people are not sitting on the table or have their own table?
Yeah, but that's
your kind of people don't even have their own table.
No, but but we do. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like every country, right?
Yeah.
In Africa. Right.
Medically?
Yeah, they got herbal medicines. We've always had herbal medicines.
No, but see, you trivializing.
I'm not.
No, but you are.
No,
let me tell you why I say you trivializing when you're saying that. The herbal medicines that you're talking about is passed down from generations to generations, meaning there's no medical proof that this thing actually does work, apart from the fact that when you give it to when your grandma or whoever it is as the herbalist gives it, we see that it's working. There's no, like, for example.
No. In Ghana, it's a whole different ballgame. As a matter of fact, some medical centers are actually linked to hospitals now. We actually have a place that you can go test the efficacy of your before you get a certificate to sell these herbal medicines.
Yeah, but that's what, you don't understand what I'm saying to you. Like, you
so
hold on.
You don't
really get what I'm basically pointing out here.
Even what you are saying, let's assume for a sec, right?
That's not
you're talking about. No.
what I'm saying is not an assumption.
Because you're talking about what I was talking about the bigger picture. You're talking about the individual ones.
Yeah, but
when I say herbal,
but you're not letting me explain myself clearly to you. What I'm saying to you, what you're talking about is the result of the question I'm asking. The result of that is the fact that, well, hold on, because where we are from, there are no people actually pushing the boundaries that other countries of where we are not from are pushing the boundary of. It makes it extremely easy to come to our area and go, well, this drugs works, or this particular thing we've come across works, and we just want to give you guys to be able to do it. Like, for example, AIDS or malaria or whatever, those sort of drugs that we use, paracetamol, simple things are... Well, they're not simple, but you know what I mean? Like simple drugs like painkillers and stuff like that are being brought in from outside because our kind of people, us, we are not part of that conversation to go, hold on. Yeah, this might work for the world, but also it works for us this way. Let's have this conversation and talk about it based on how we think it will work for our people or our kind of people. Because I can guarantee you this, that's what they are doing in every other part of the country. Like Germany doesn't allow certain drugs to come into their country because they have people that sit on the board of that table and go, no, this is not going to work for our people. America is the same. UK is the same. The drug laws that they have in UK is different from the drug laws they have in Germany. Why? Because the people in Germany, the people in UK that sits on that table, they're able to defend and look after their own people. Our kind of people, we don't have that. And that's what makes it easy to be able to do the sort of stuff that you were talking about, which is why I'm calling it the result.
No, but we do. That's the problem.
We don't have people that sit on the table that be able to defend us. Like,
we do. Are the people defending us a different ballgame? That's the point I'm trying to make.
Which, what? So when you say we do and they don't defend us, so we don't.
No.
So we don't. We don't.
The fact that you put a traitor as your defense soldier doesn't mean you didn't put a soldier out there. You did put a soldier out there. He's just a traitor.
But this soldier.
So that's the question is.
So technically, that soldier that you put out there is after himself. So as far as we're concerned as a people, we don't. We have a representative.
No, now the question,
we have a representative.
It's our problem.
But that representation that we have is non-existent because this person is looking after his own self-interest. Our governments
have done the same thing to us. The point I'm trying to make, and that's why I'm saying,
I'm not trying to make this a comment. What I'm trying to get at, I'm trying to get at is this, right? I think like Mandela did, and like what Martin Luther King did, I think we need to have some certain group of people that either do what you say, like the representation we have. Nah, we need to get rid of that representation and have a real representative representing us in these places. Or actually, hold on, we don't have any representation here, so we need to sit down. Like people like pushing the boundaries and doing this stuff.
Look, let me put it this way. Ghana, again, because I come from this, I know enough about that place. And at times I try not to at least talk too much about other places.
I think we need to bring on, if you're going to do that, because that's kind of like what you're doing right now.
But the point
is, what is affecting Ghana in terms of what we're talking about affect all kind of...
That's what I was going to say. But because every country will probably have a similar body. Ghana have an FDA. Nigeria have one as well, because I remember when Nigeria was banning stuff. So that means they got stuff. They got somebody out there that are looking. But hold on,
like mixed. It's kind of like gone down the drain of all we discuss right now. Because what I'm saying is, like, if we have a bunch of scientists, right, different perspective of scientists coming from Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, whatever it is, that actually knows what this is about, live in the country, and are able to do researches and theory and all the kind of stuff like the rest of the world are doing. Now we have varieties of people that are in this industry, just like the rest of the world. So when things are being brought into the country, then we have different voices representing the country.
But that's what I'm saying, that's the thing, though, because we do. But the point is, are they being listened to? Is a different ballgame, and that's the point I'm driving at.
And the reason why they probably not listen to them, which is going back to my question, is the fact that majority of these breakthroughs seems like none of it is coming from where we are from.
Yeah, but
do you understand what I'm saying?
But that's the point.
And it seems like that's why they probably, if they are, it seems like that's why they probably.
But that's what I'm saying, that all these things in quotes, again, I'm putting it in quotes, whether you want to call it a breakthrough from the West or whatever it is, it's irrelevant, because I'll give you an example, right?
Why is it irrelevant?
Because most of the things that is important to us as people, right, either it's our own people leading it in terms of, but the point is, like,
so we do have breakthroughs. Is that what you're saying?
We do.
But why are we doing? Why are we not using our breakthroughs?
We're not. No, but you know what I'm trying to say. We're not.
Yeah, I know. If we
we're not as
using
celebrate. That's why. That's the point I was trying to make. That there's almost like this whole situation, right? It's a three-phase situation, in my opinion. Anyway.
Okay.
There's a government arm. There's the Western arm in terms of all the rest of the world arm that looks at us, and then
like
there's us.
WHO.
And even how the Western media portrays us and all these other things, and also there's us as people. I'm talking about the lay people.
So where is it broken for you?
It's broken all three forms, all three. So the problem
you can't really fix.
No.
Fix all three for you to be able to work. But if you fix one and you don't fix the other two, it's not going to work.
No, but the point, if you fix two, one of the problem that if you fix that works for every other thing, because the other two wouldn't govern. No, it's the people. Because the people make the government powerful or not powerful. So if you fix it with the people, then the people will force their government, and then the government will force the WHO or the other thing. You understand the point I'm trying to make? And that's where the problem is.
That's not what happened.
And of course, and that's where the problem is. And that's why.
Then why are we even having this conversation? Because it's not going to happen. It's done.
I don't even know where we're ending up.
All I was basically saying is
this is the point I was
we
going to
need
make.
Scientists. We need boundary pushers. We need inventors. We need people coming out of this country and holding their head up high because they're doing things for their people and for the rest of the world.
But that's what I was trying to, and that's why I was bringing in.
And if you say we already have,
and that's why I was bringing in
I don't think we do.
That's why I was bringing in the herbal centers in Ghana, for example.
But that's not proven.
What do you mean it's not proven? No, that's what I'm saying. But that's the point. You see, because that's why you are even being a skeptic. The point I'm trying to make is
I'm being a skeptic because
they've gone through the same. No, they've proven it scientifically. That's what I'm saying.
Like what?
They've gone through the same.
I can guarantee you this. All the apps that's been proven is being sold around the world. I can guarantee you that. Like, for example, Herbalife. Herbalife is a company, a big company that does this health, nutritional stuff, right? Most of the stuff comes from herbs. Yeah. Just like you would have it in Africa. But they have their own federation that they do the testing. Recognized all across the world. It's like the ISOs, right? Yeah, but hold on, I'm saying something. It's like the ISOs, right? So they do that, and then based on that, they have the certificates to be able to sell it around the world. It's like also the growth thing, which, by the way, people lie. This FDAs and stuff like that. This governmental this governing body. It's like it is, but it's not. It's something. They have their own discretion how they do it, but politically, whatever you want to say that they're using to do it. Most of this stuff doesn't come out of those things. If you say we have it, which I'm not disputing the fact that we don't, we actually really do. But the problem we have, or the issue we have with what we have, is the fact that you can't take it out of these countries and go take it to Germany.
But why would you care about it? That's the point I was trying to make. No, but hold on.
You asked the question. Why would you care about it?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the reason why I, for one, would care about it. Is the fact that paracetamol as a small drug, for example, it's been sold across the world.
Yeah.
Okay. By probably a company created that. They made it. They had it approved, tested, went through the World Health Organization, whatever the crap organization they have that was going to go through. They went through it. They did it, and they did it for different countries, but it's still an organization that did it. It's like Viagra, right? But most of these drugs, breakthrough, whatever you hear, doesn't come out of our place. So as an individual in my country, for example, why wouldn't I trust those drugs when it's being used all across the country? But why wouldn't I trust it?
Of course, but that's what I'm going to break it. That's what I was going to. But hold on. You keep saying local herbals, and that's why I was trying to tell you that's the wrong. It's not. That's why I keep using the Ghana thing as an example, and you didn't let me. When I say Ghana herbal medicines, it's not by a local herbalist that's staying in the forest.
That's what I'm hearing.
That's the point, and that's why I said, and that's why I was trying to. That's why I said, So in Ghana, for instance, right. They have Herbal Medicine Association. So it's actually people, some with PhDs. Most of them are science people who actually look at these plants, look at what they actually do, go through the vigorous things, and then they go to the FDA of Ghana, which is the Food and Drug Board, and they make these drugs that are supposed to be for, some of them are painkillers. Of course.
Okay, so if hold on, let me ask you a question. So if I go to an hospital in Ghana,
yes,
and they needed to give me a drug, which one would they pick? Would they pick?
It's not about who they will pick, and that's where I was, and that's the point I was getting, and that's why I said the people. It's like the same way.
What do you mean?
But hold on. You asked me, but I'm bringing it to the people.
Go to the hospital.
Yeah, but a hospital can only prescribe a drug.
Yeah, but a doctor.
If a doctor
prescribes drug to. That you should be prescribed for,
but
right?
if I prescribe a painkiller to you,
right,
it's up to you to either go use Anadine, Panadol, normal paracetamol, Nurofen, ibuprofen, and whatever fen is out there. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, you do. But what I'm trying to point out to
but
you...
a doctor's not going to prescribe ibuprofen
to
to you. They'll tell you, go to the pharmacist. Like, for instance, if you turn up with a
so
headache,
if you
to
go
get
to
a headache.
if
you go to a pharmacist, and the point I'm trying to make is...
Hold on. I'm asking you a question. If you go to a pharmacist in Ghana, all right, and you go, my doctor said I should get a painkiller.
Yeah.
Would they prescribe you?
They don't prescribe. They show you. And that's the point. And most people choose the Western medicine. And that's why I said to people, if they go, this is a local drug, this is a Western drug, most people will choose a Western drug. We have a saying in Ghana.
Okay, so why do you personally think that is?
And that's why I said...
No, I'm actually... Why do you personally think that
it stems way from colonization and our own mentality about
my God,
the West. I'm being...
Why are you going
because
there?
I'm giving an example.
So it's not about the fact that this thing has been proven and now you trust it better than what has been proven?
No, it has zero to do with it. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of drugs in Ghana and a lot of drugs even in the West, right? That have not been proven. I've actually shown that it's very, very dangerous to you and people still take these drugs. And our people will still take these drugs way over herbal drugs that at worst would be a placebo.
So how can we fix it?
That's what I said to people.
Yeah, I get that. You already told me the issue.
Yes.
How can you fix the issue? How can you fix people's mentality?
And that's where you fix people's mentality by starting in our homes. If within our homes, we make sure that
I don't think that's going to happen.
What do you mean is that?
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, individually, we have our own kids.
I don't think that's going to happen. Forget
Why not?
it. Because, like, you just said it. Naturally speaking, if I go to a pharmacist and the pharmacist is telling me what drug is placed in front of me to use, I probably would not take the local or the drug that's been produced in Ghana. I would take the one that's not been produced in Ghana, guaranteed, because I know that's recognized all over the world and they use it all over the world.
It's not about even
I know it. You're talking about the individual person now.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
And
individually speaking, going to a pharmacist in Ghana and talking to a pharmacy and a pharmacist, and they're telling me what to do, right? And they place drugs in front of me, and they go, "This drug will be used for painkillers." I will most likely take the one that is being used all around the world, that is being internationally sent. It was imported. Okay.
let me look. I'm gonna use.
So if you're telling me that's the solution,
I'm gonna use a simple analogy, right? And there's something that happened in Ghana, and when the British took over in Ghana, right?
Colonization. That's
what you're doing. I'm giving you just hear me out. You see,
all the way that far?
Yes, wow. because people talk as if colonization is that. It's not. As at 1950, Ghana was still under the British colony.
Yeah, what's your point?
So just hear me out. We had a local. It doesn't matter because we still. Cameroon still pays France almost over 50% of their country's
that's governmental.
If
that's got nothing to do with an individual's mentality, like you just said.
If a Cameroonian see themselves first as French instead of seeing themselves as a Cameroonian, you don't think that has something to do with a Cameroonian's mindset? How it's fucked in the head today. If a Ghanaian what do you mean? It is true. If a Ghanaian is out here, yes, it is. If as a Ghanaian, I'm actually laughing at a Nigerian because I speak better English and I say I speak the Queen's English and the Nigerian doesn't speak a Queen's English. Meanwhile, my kid can speak, Chi or any local language that their parents know, and you don't think that we're talking about today? A kid born in Ghana, not even born abroad. A kid born in Ghana can't speak the local language, and he's deemed the smartest kid. And you don't think that's...
You're turning this into something else. You're turning this into something else.
No,
because what you're saying right now...
Because you are trivializing the impact the thing on the people today.
I haven't trivialized it. I'm just telling you, like, you just basically gave a solution. You said change the mentality of the people. And I'm telling you, if that's the case, forget it. Not going to change. That's my point.
No, so but I'm going to show you. No, I'm going to show. Yeah, but I'm telling you. I'm not talking about the reason why we're going. You said
we're talking about going forward.
Hold on. Yeah,
let's go forward.
And that's what I'm talking about, because I'm trying to give you an example of when we've been able to change the people's mindset and it's worked. That's what I'm trying to
hear. Go ahead.
So,
but you went back though.
Yes, because. If I don't start the story from there and I start from now, you wouldn't understand it. There'll be no point to it.
Fine. Go back to the colonization days, all right? And then explain to me how the mentality of those days got changed.
There used to be this drink, right? Quarter Patashi.
Okay.
VC10, AKO Kogro, the devil's piss. It's got so many. It got so many nicknames. Anyway.
The piece of the devil. Not even a fire, The piece, like
Sam Johnson, that's what it's called.
Who even named that? Like, who created that?
I don't. I don't know who created the name, but I know how it's created.
Perpetrator needs to be crucified. Whenever, man. Go ahead.
Blue kills, Tell your in-law your mind.
Viagra kind of sounds right. We really don't know what Viagra is. We just gave it that minute. But the devil's piece is pretty clear.
Okay. Now, because this was the default drink for a lot of the locals, and it was a very popular drink.
Which means they defined it as the drink of the champions.
No, and even like what's it called? If you needed to pour libations and all this kind of stuff, it used to be either palm wine you were using, or you were using that and all this. And if you went to go to gods, that one was your default drink. You don't turn up.
Palm wine is our default drink. Palm wine is our local drink.
But it doesn't. No. Palm wine was like palm wine is more like a celebration. Like this one is like the strong stuff. That is for like you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100% get you. Don't worry about that.
And
that cannot be misunderstood.
And if you needed the men to be brave to face certain things, those were the ones that
That you take it and you're ready to go.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Now,
the one where they call power.
Now, because Gordon's dry gin was a British thing, and they wanted to sell that because the colonization time was about trade. Yeah, and especially when British took over. When British took over, it wasn't just the trade of taking stuff from Ghana and taking abroad. They wanted to also have established, and that's why people do forget that Ghana used to have a tobacco company. Ghana used to have an assembly plant and everything. Like there used to be a lot of businesses and industries in Ghana, but that's not the point.
That's normal. Yes.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it didn't benefit the locals. But that's not the point. We're talking about different things.
Today's industry doesn't benefit
at least. No, forget the poor. That's what I always say. If my local guy is rich, like if Tubaba is rich, right? Let's take for example. Yeah. When Tubaba car breaks down, he's not taking the car abroad, is he? He's gonna take it to the mechanic. The mechanic is a Nigerian. He can chop small. When Tubaba needs a housemaid,
mentality, I'm not sure he won't do that.
Well, Tubaba will put the car on the ship and carry it abroad.
I'm not sure.
My brother.
I mean, people are using plane to order pizza. I'm not. Listen, let's not talk about what could and what could not be.
Anyway, this Ogogoro drink, this VC10, this Apateshi, as a matter of fact, it's still popular with Ghanaians abroad as well. But anyway, the point is, they went out of their way, including almost even criminalizing, the process or all these other things. But because it had such a strong affiliation to the local people, and all the troubles that came with it and everything, it still could not dampen the spirits of this of this drink here. And it's still one of the most popular drinks in the country now. Today.
You exactly made my point for me.
Now the point I'm trying.
No.
But I was gonna say something. No, I haven't finished. I'm gonna say something now. What did they do? And that's why it changed people's mentality. And that's why I said the change people's mentality comes in, even though it's managed to survive now. And that's I'm saying that it managed to survive now to give us hope. But I'm saying I'm still talking about the damage is done to the country in terms of now, Schnapp, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Schnaps,
which is actually a British share.
Yeah.
It's still the most popular default thing for people of influence. Which everyone, as you know, in every society, nobody wants to be there at the bottom. Everybody wants to show off that, So like now, if I want to go to the gods, now if I want to go ask somebody's kid, somebody's hand in marriage, I can't turn up with or go to go do that as we used to use back in the days. Now I have to turn up a Schnapp. You understand the point I'm trying to make?
I'm trying to understand your point, but I'm not.
So
getting. Your point is Schnaps took over.
No. It's what I'm saying is like even though this thing exists now.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the fact that VC10 still exists, Apateshi still exists, gives us hope that even though, like I'm talking in terms, I'm just trying to use herbal medicine. Yeah. I'm saying even though we have all this, there's a hope that if we go back, we can salvage something, because this thing, upon all the other criminalization and everything.
Actually, with everything you just said, like I'm listening to everything you said, and I'm actually your result is like that's not true, because what you basically just said is, look, the people like the particular kind of drink. They didn't eradicate it. They tried to eradicate it. They didn't. All right. So people, it's already ingrained in people's mind. It was what it what it also did was introduce another drink to people, and when people took to it, now they don't only have one form of drink anymore. They have two now.
No. That's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I said.
That's
No. I know, but the thing is, even though they have two, I'm saying one is linked to a certain class of people, and the other one it matters because
I'll tell you why I say it doesn't matter. It's because people took to it. People's mentality was
they linked it. No. They linked it to class.
Yeah,
and class is important to people.
Exactly, and people took to it because they wanted to be classy.
Yeah, it's like moiety in your country.
So you didn't.
I bet most people prefer like Pami and those kind of things. But apparently moiety was,
No, but you're making my point for me. You exactly making my point.
No, but what I'm saying, the fact that palm wine still exists, I'm saying, look at the positive.
What they trust.
No, look at the positive. I'm trying to say, look at the positive. Because palm wine still exists and palm wine is still around.
Palm wine, even a rich person will drink palm wine. Period. But a rich person drinking palm wine is not
a rich person. No, but what I'm saying, a rich person will not throw a party and then and there'll be where should I put the amount of money? You probably won't spend anything on palm wine. As a matter of a rich person,
but a rich person will always drink palm wine. But palm wine is not a drink of influence. Period.
That's
so therefore, it would drink palm wine, but it would have champagne in its party because that's a drink of influence. Why? Why is it a drink of influence? Because people made it a drink of influence. Period. That's my point to you. So when you're talking about the fact that an herbalist, right?
No, you keep saying herbal, and I'm saying forget that we call science people. No, these are science people now.
Whatever you want to call it.
Don't call it whatever. These are science people. Because when you say herbalist, it gives because our herbalists were given bad connotation and bad things, especially with the Christian people. We call it a science person. They're medical. They're medical people. That's what I'm saying. Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you now. Even the UK have a herbal medicine, association. People go to school to study. No,
I'm telling you why you're
go to school to study plants.
You're emotional right now, right? It's a very simple thing. Very, very simple thing. Africans are not exactly in the leading trend of releasing or making a breakthrough of drugs. My question is, why? And if you say they are leading the trend, so cool. You've mentioned 3 different legs, right? You said it's the people, right? The government and the organization, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you said. So the people, the government, and the organization. You said the way you can fix it is by talking and changing the mentality of the people. You gave a story, a scenario where that doesn't even look possible. They try to eradicate a drink that the people already used to. The people didn't eradicate it. They just realized, hold on, this is a drink that we'll drink if we're broke. Okay, that's it.
Well, that's how it's become now.
That's it. But they still didn't get rid of it.
Nope, it's still a very popular drink.
Exactly, it's a very popular drink. So for you to change people's mentality, it's more like you got to find something that's deeply rooted in people and just affiliate it to that, which is what they've done in terms of saying Africans are not setting trends. And the reason why Africans are not setting trends is because we actually don't. And if we do, we don't come out and publicize it like the rest of the world are publicizing it. Period. That's exactly what it is. So most of the drugs that are being used or find out in terms of breaking through in these African countries, the rest of the world don't give a crap about it.
Yeah, but I don't care. But that's what.
And guess what? No, you should. And I'll tell you why you should. I'll tell you why you should. Because the drugs that have been broken through, that we consider broke through in the rest of the world, Africans give a crap about them.
Yeah, but and that's why I said the people. That's no.
It's not a two-way street. It's a one-way street.
And that's where our problem. And that's why I said the problem is with the people.
I'm basically talking about the same thing you're talking about, but you're not listening to me though. No, you're not. Because what I'm basically the question I asked. The simple answer to my question is, it's not going to happen. It's simple as that. It's not going to happen. Because we need to create our own table, which, according to what you've said, it clearly looks like there is a table that was created.
But the table is not...
No, it's not about...
You keep saying, because I don't care about the West. I don't care about whether somebody else...
Our people don't want it.
Yeah, that's what I said. So it's our people's problem. That's what I said. It's our people's problem.
People don't consider it important enough to want.
And that's where the problem lies.
I'm not talking about the West. The reason why I'm talking about the West is because the drugs that are being used by our people, the scientists' breakthrough that are being considered breakthrough by our people are not from our people. They're not.
Yeah, but
they're not from our people.
Let's put it.
That's why I'm mentioning the West. Because if we were a cocoon and we were a colony isolated from the rest of the world, then most of the stuff that we use will be from our colony and will be from our colony. But that's not what's happening.
But you see, the problem is this, and it's
which means we don't even trust our own breakthroughs. We don't. As people, we don't.
Until we suffer, because the poor people also default to a lot of the poor people also default.
Yeah, but they wouldn't want to default to it though. That's the point. So they don't even trust. They're only doing it by choice. That's the only choice they have. They're not doing it because they have a better choice and they go, don't give me that. Give me this one instead. Yeah. They're not doing it by that.
You got, like, I'm reading about a paper that was written about this about medicine, and they take that 3 countries, Ghana, Nigeria, and then they look at South Africa. And like in Nigeria, like 41% of the doctors they surveyed, right? What the hell is it? Yeah. Even though they believe that it can be effective, for some chronic diseases, and they know that, it could be too. They still are like, we still prescribe it alongside, a Western medicine, which makes no sense to me. And then
when you say no, but that's the reality though. I know it makes no sense to you.
Of course, that's the reality.
That's the reality, and that's my point. Whether it makes sense to you or not, whether it makes sense to me or not, it doesn't matter. The population subscribed or are subscribing to the drugs that have been imported into the country, rather than the drugs that have been created in their country.
I know.
That's the fact.
But there's a funny thing, though. They're saying, some of the community health workers, right, even though they've had personal experience with traditional or herbal medicine and still continues to use it, they won't recommend it to patients because that's not part of the memo. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, but this is now you're making my point.
No,
you're making you've been making my point from the very beginning. You just don't know it because you're not listening. My point is like, we're not on the table for us to start changing the conversation. We're not. If we're on the table to start changing the conversation, then eventually we will change the mentality of the people. But we're not on the table, Nana.
No, but you see,
we're not. And if we are on the table, but we are there like the further end where no one can even hear us talk. Look, that's what it is.
But that's what I'm saying.
That is what it is. Whether you like to admit it or not, Nana, that's what it is. Because I can tell you this, and you know this, because you should know this. The way in which drugs have been brought into the UK is different from the way drugs have been taken into America, right? And the reason why that is because they have organizations that have voice in UK again here, because they have scientists here that break boundaries. They have scientists in America that break boundaries. They have scientists in flipping Canada that break boundaries. I sit down and talk about it. They have the FDAs or whatever they call themselves. Federation of God knows whatever.
Nigeria has an FDA. Ghana have an FDA. The point I'm trying
but they're not influential enough for the table for them to be able to even talk.
Are you talking about Western table? Are you talking about
I'm talking about the table of the World Health Organization. I'm not talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. That bit doesn't
really
matter
because Health Organization.
They can't do anything in your country unless you allow it.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
you're trying to default to political.
No, I'm not defaulting to political.
I'm saying I'm saying they can't do anything in your country unless you allow it. We know that. We know that.
Hold on. All I'm trying to say is within your boundaries.
No, but
what you choose to do within your boundaries.
We also know that.
China
what you're saying is nothing new. We also know that. Let me tell you what I'm saying. Because what you're saying is like repeating yourself. You don't need to repeat yourself. We know what you're saying. Everything you're saying, we're clear on. But here's the thing, though. The influential people in these organizations and the breakthrough that has been made in this organization in terms of drugs or whatever it is being made continuously by the Western people.
Yeah, but when was the last time China, you had a breakthrough drug from China?
I don't care about that.
No, I'm using. I'm going to say something.
Africa.
No, that's what I'm saying. But hold on.
I care about China.
I was using that as an example.
Okay,
I'm using that as an example. Meanwhile, China have 95% of its hospitals linked to a herbal or traditional medicine center.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because China, as a country, has got people that are influential enough in this so-called whatever organization that the world is a part of.
No, it's just their country thing.
Hold on, no, but I'm basically trying to point out the reason why. For example, because what you're saying is true in China. They use their local herbalist or whatever it is that they have their own. They even have that
acupuncture that people.
Yeah, they have. Thank you. They have the acupuncture and everything that people trust. You know why? Because people in China are in this field and they're pushing boundaries in that field. Okay. And because they're pushing so much boundary in that field, that the rest of the world, I mean, acupuncture is in the UK. They have Chinese people that are doing acupuncture.
But herbal medicine is in the UK, no?
No, but try to understand what you're talking about. Herbal medicine. I'm talking about the fact that people are sitting on the table, like different organizations.
You keep talking about tables, and I don't think the table is important.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm trying to say.
It is. It is.
Not.
No, you've mentioned different legs, right? You've mentioned people, you've mentioned organizations, and you've mentioned the government, right?
Yeah.
Those different legs, which you are quite right in mentioning, I don't know if that's what you actually call it, but you are right. They're different sectors to this part of what we're talking about. But those different sectors that you have is linked to one another, right? So the government is linked to the organizations that are doing this stuff, meaning legislations, laws, rules that are being passed for these organizations to follow.
Yeah, and whatever drug comes into the country.
Hold on. No, it doesn't. I'm not even talking about the drugs now. I'm just saying in general, these organizations, right, are also very influential in terms of whatever it is that they create, they allow, they administer, they do stuff, right? Which then links to the people. The people basically takes or does whatever to this sort of stuff that is coming out of these organizations that the government is being allowed to based on the rules and regulations. Now, the thing is, in our own continent, we do have these legs, right? We have it. But the organization is in such a way that it's not strong enough, right? Meaning the government now can do whatever the heck they want. Meaning the people now can decide to do what they want as well. So the whole three legs that you mentioned in our continent is fully broken. Why? That's my point. And the reason why I'm saying the table, that's for me is the reason why. Is because we don't have enough influence on, for example, where the conversation is really, truly happening. Which is why people like France can stupidly go on TV and openly say things like, let's go test coronavirus drugs on Africans, because that's where most of the things are being tested. Where you don't have scientists that come out from Africa, like different voices that openly go, are you flipping stupid?
But they've been, that's the point I'm trying to make. Because
No, but my point is they're not influential enough, because if they were influential enough, France wouldn't even have that audacity. It's like France sitting down and saying, we should go test drugs on UK people.
The guy that's the head of the World Health Organization is African.
You could be sitting in the World Health Organization. It doesn't mean
he's the head.
Enough. It doesn't mean influential enough.
What do you mean? You're telling me the guy that is the president of the thing is not influential enough?
Let's look at the facts here. Let's look at the facts. I'm not looking at where positions people are. I'm looking at the facts, right? When I started this conversation, I asked you, what breakthrough have we had that's been recognized around the world? Because every breakthrough...
That's what I'm saying. There's enough countries that haven't had any breakthrough.
It doesn't...
So fine.
Well, you're not listening. It's like what you're basically doing is comparing apples and oranges. I'm not doing it. I don't care about where the rest of the world is with the rest of these things. I'm saying, look, when you're talking about trendsetters, when you're talking about influential people, when you're talking about, like I told you, the FDAs or whatever you want to call them, they have the people, like I know this. I'm fortunate enough to know this. Like in UK, because I reside in UK, you can't just bring any drugs in the UK. I'm not going to allow you. I don't care what it is. And the reason why, it's not because there's no corruption there. Of course there is. Guaranteed. They're probably still even passing some drugs in here that nobody knows about. Okay? But it's just certain things you can't do because there's enough voices of individuals that are influential enough, that are able to basically, whistleblowers, whatever it is, that get passionate and go, nah, we're not going to allow this to happen. So therefore, there are more hurdles to cross for you to just do certain things in the UK. Same goes for America. Same goes for even China that you mentioned about, because the people they're influential people enough in these organizations or part of this organization doing something in aspect, whatever small, big it is, that's part of this field that you just can't get anything done just the way you feel like. They would crucify you, period. But it just so happened that in our continent, it's almost like it's free for all. It's almost like it's free for all.
But that's what, then again, what are you talking about? Then it's not even about the organization. Then it's about the people, because
which is what I asked you. Which is what I started with saying. Hold on, do we even have?
Because the point.
And then you went. I said, do we even have scientists and stuff? Yeah, and then you went. We have the herbalists and this and that.
No, because
that's what you said, right? Yeah. We have the herbalists, and I'm going. No, forget the herbalists.
I wasn't talking about. You keep saying the herbalists because
but you've already explained it what you were saying. So it's not like I already got it,
because if you say somebody listening will still think, it's still the guy in the village forest somewhere.
That's what I got from you, but you corrected it. That's what I got from you.
I'm talking about people who have actually gone to schools, go through the whole scientific process, to, learn about plants, know about the efficacy of plants and those kind of stuff.
I get that, but for some reason, and like I said, my answer to the question I asked from listening to you talk, it's like, forget it. It's not going to happen. It's just as simple. Because based on everything you've explained to me, I still don't see how a normal individual in Ghana or Nigeria or wherever it is in North African country will go to a local pharmacist and they're able to prescribe stuff to them and they go, okay, this was created in Nigeria. Okay, I'm talking about someone in Ghana. This was created in Nigeria and this was created in Germany or whatever it is, and it's been approved and they've tested it and this and that and the other. But this one in Nigeria is actually quite good. Do you want it? And I still don't see how that person will go. Give me the one in Nigeria.
But if you look at, let's look at normal painkillers, which the patent expired God knows how long. People also trust got a lot of drugs come from what's that place called? From India to Africa than from Africa from the West anyway. Because it's cheaper. Now the point I'm trying to make is people still won't trust a pharmaceutical company in Nigeria, Ghana, Gambia, whatever the hell it is, than they will trust a pharmaceutical company.
That's my point.
And the point, and what I'm trying to say, it's not because we don't have people putting checks in place, and not because we don't have people sitting on the table. It's because the individuals that are in the country are so messed up in their heads that they think something coming from India is most likely to be way better than something coming from the pharmacy of a Nigerian, which is the same painkiller.
You said that repeatedly on this podcast.
Because that's our biggest problem.
We know that. No, that's not our biggest problem.
It is.
No, that is the result of the problem we have.
No,
that's not the problem.
Because if we change our mentality,
you can't just change people's mentality that have no idea about the thing that you want them to change their mentality of. You can't dude. What you're literally telling me is for me to trust something that I don't know anything about, but I know that.
What do you mean you don't know anything about? You know the same drug from India coming to.
Try to understand what I'm telling you. No, listen. Try to understand what I'm telling you. I'm a normal individual.
Hold on, let me
have a painkiller. I have a pain issue.
Yes, but
hold on. I'm trying to.
Let me ask the question. Then because you're saying I don't understand, so let me ask the question. Then you can use your analogy to explain.
No, just ask the question. I'll answer.
Paracetamol is a generic drug. Or at least the normal painkiller, I'm putting in quotes. Yeah. It's a generic drug.
Yes.
So there's two pharmaceutical companies, Western pharmaceutical companies. So I'm not even talking about herbal stuff. I'm not talking about plants here.
No, don't worry about it. Just ask me. Don't tell me what you're talking about or not. So just ask me your question. Don't worry. I already got that. I already got. Don't make sure. Just ask me the question. Don't try to paint your questions and ask me the question.
When I finish, can I
ask me the question? Yeah.
Now, pharmaceutical Adekunle Pharmaceutical based in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Against I don't know whatever I can't think of an Indian name. Patel Pharmaceutical Company based in India, right? They both make this drug.
Why are these pharmaceutical companies important in the question you're trying to ask me?
No. Forget why they.
Because I don't know what drug industry create paracetamol. I don't know that.
No,
as a normal individual, I just know I want something and they call it paracetamol. That's all I know.
Yeah, but would you let me?
I don't know what company.
Yes, it doesn't matter. But the point is, let me ask my question.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand why that's influential.
Now you go to the pharmacy counter, right? Yeah. And you go. Let's assume Adekunle's one will be called whatever more. Because they can't call it or it might be paracetamol, but for instance, if you go to Tesco, it will be Tesco paracetamol. Yeah. So this Adekunle paracetamol, and this is Patel paracetamol. Yeah. Which one are you most likely to take? Or which one do you think a typical Nigerian man is most likely to buy?
I'm trying to answer your question, but your question is confusing. And that's why
two products, the same product. Answer. What I'm saying is the same product, right?
It can't be the same product.
It is.
No, because paracetamol is paracetamol.
Yes, so it's the same.
Ibuprofen is ibuprofen. Paracetamol is paracetamol, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm trying to tell you that
but pharmaceutical
as a normal African person living in Nigeria,
yeah, but I know
it is not the same.
How is it not the same?
It's not the same because ibuprofen, paracetamol, or Fensic, whatever you want to call it, they're all painkillers, right?
Yeah,
they're all painkillers. Cool. So for me, as a normal individual person in Nigeria going to buy these drugs, I've got that variation, but they're international drugs. They're not locally created drugs or manufactured in Africa, at least anyways. They're all drugs that have been manufactured, so-called Western I don't want. I'm trying my best not to use the Western because, like, for me, it's not that. It's not Western against non-Western people.
Yeah, I know, but what the point I was trying to make is this same drug can be the same drugs that we're talking about. That's why that's why I said if we, they also manufacture the same drugs locally as well.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying to you. It's not about the manufacturing thing, though. That's not. What
But
I'm
people,
talking
no,
about.
but forget what people. I'm
listening
trying to have
to
a
me.
particular conversation, and you deviate
because
from
I
my
can't-
conversation.
because I'm trying to answer your question, but I'm trying to explain to you why your question is difficult for me to answer. I'm basically pointing out to you this way. Painkillers are painkillers. Different companies produce painkillers, right? So, and they call it different names. But at the end of the day, they all kill pain. That's what it is. Period. My conversation with you is above that. That's the result of it. The result of it is the fact that we have different painkillers that an individual can now purchase to kill their pain. All right? But the reason why these painkillers are coming from a particular set of area that's not from the area I come from, right? And I'm able to trust it is because the people or the way I perceive it as an individual is that's trusted more because it's coming from where the boundary's been pushed. So therefore, even if I have a locally created, and I'm calling it local because I can't find a better way to do it because I know you have an issue with me calling it herbalist or whatever it is. Even if I have a drug that is a set of painkillers, right? Also a set of painkillers that kill pain, but different doses, but are being produced in my country, I won't trust it. Although they do the same thing. Maybe even better. As an individual of that country, I won't trust it.
Why not?
Because goes back to everything I've explained to you that I say you're not listening to me on. Where these real conversations are happening, where I can go, okay, that's something that I can trust. My people are not part of that conversation. And if they are, they're not influential enough for me to go, that's true. Adekunle, whatever, right? Spoke to a group of scientists that are from the rest of the world, all over the world, and they were able to say, yeah, we're going to use Adekunle's drug, not only in Nigeria, not only in Ghana, not only in this. We're also going to sell it across the board. So then it gives me the confidence to know as an individual, when I walk into the drug, I'll be able to go, yeah, okay, you know what? No, give me Adekunle, whatever. Because it's also a form of painkiller, and it does work.
And that's where our problem starts because we don't trust our own. And that's why I said before. And that's why I was using the paracetamol as an example. It wouldn't matter.
But you did say that, and it's true. But I'm saying that's the result. That is
that's the main reason, and that's actually the main reason why a lot of that's the problem. That's why our own people will hide behind, like even when we invent something, you hide behind a white person to sell it because we know if we put our face on it, our people will
you blame.
I've listened to you.
Look, you just said is in 3 different legs, right? You can fix the people. If you don't fix the organization, if you don't fix the government, nothing is going to get done.
If you fix the people, you fix the people, all those ones will have to conform. It doesn't matter. As a matter of if you don't fix the people and you got those 2 up there, no matter what the fuck they do, the people will still be the same. And the same way, and the same reason why.
Well, if you look at coronavirus right now, they quarantine it. Most people don't agree in Africa, but they quarantine.
What do you think? What happened in Jordan? The only reason why
they quarantine, like they are, because they don't.
No, in Jordan it turned into a riot. The point I'm trying to make is the people. No, because
it will be a thing where the government will take matters into their own hands.
Yeah, but who's the people? Like if the people rise up, even the military can hold the people. That's why. No,
the military's got guns. They've got tear gas.
It doesn't matter. What do you think happened in Syria? If the people decide to riot, you can't do shit. All you can do is just sit down with the people and convince them that, and that's what they did in Ghana. The point I'm trying to make to you is if you get the people on your side, everything else falls in place.
I'm not even talking about people on your side or whatever it is. My point here is this, right? And for me, it's very clear that we don't, especially in most of the fields, even in engineering, all right? Even in the world of IT right now. I mean, China has their own form of Facebook. Why? Because the government banned it and then somebody else came and created it. Most of these technologies that we're using in Africa, for example, they're not made for us. They're not. They're not made for us. And what does that mean? It means that we are not part of the conversation to go, well, you do that. That's great. But guess what? Our people need more than that. Or our people, we need to do it differently for our people. Like, so, because you're doing it for your people. Like, Mark Zuckerberg, when he created Facebook, he wasn't thinking about the rest of the world.
Yeah, but
he was only thinking about it. So
you had M-Pesa anyway.
What do you mean M-Pesa? What's that? What do you mean?
And they started the mobile money thing. That was not done in abroad. That was done in Kenya. That's a Kenyan thing.
And that's good because mobile money, by the way, because it was done for the kind of people that did it for, the West don't know about mobile money. They don't care about it because it's not something for them, right? And that's exactly my point. It's not something for them. It's something for our people. So imagine we keep doing that. Like mobile money is one in like how many things we could talk about. But that's a very great thing that happened. And you can see how well that's useful for us in our continent. Because of mobile money now, a lot of us could do a lot of things. When it comes to, instead of going to queue in the bank for like 5 hours or whatever, like some people still do, which there was no alternative back then, now we can. Because we have real issues that the rest of the world don't have. So if we start addressing those issues, maybe we can change the government mentality.
But you see, again, that's what I'm saying. I said I'm not talking about that. The point is this: even with
I guess we've been having two different conversations. I guess.
Well, that's why I was trying to situate it. The point is this: at the end of the day, even with mobile money, if the people themselves were not comfortable,
mobile money was needed, and that's why the people had no choice but to take it.
Whether it was needed or not, the point I'm trying to make.
You have to admit it was needed.
For me, I'm not even looking at it from that perspective. The point I'm trying to make is it had the buying of the people, right?
But what else? Why would they have a buying of the people? If the people don't want it, they don't.
No, but
they won't. If it wasn't needed by the people, they won't use it.
It doesn't. I'm saying the reason I'm saying that doesn't matter for me anyway is the fact that if so far as I'm trying not to go with there. A lot of times people go, "Oh, support your own." I understand support your own to a point. Is that time that we do that time we do saying stupid shit. So so that's why I'm trying not to be like the point I'm trying when I say that people buying.
I am gonna be like what you're saying. You don't want to be like that. Support your own nonsense is crap. Okay, because if you support your own, what does that mean? Even if your own is doing a lot of crappy nonsense,
that's why I said that's not necessarily why I'm. The point. Look, bottom line is this, or at least what I'm trying to say is this: for where we come from. Especially, when we're dealing with our own, the level of distrust that comes with that.
But why? We know this. We know what you're talking about is true. But why? Why do we have distrust among ourselves? Why? And please don't mention colonialism because, we know none of us are getting colonized today, but we still distrust ourselves. We distrust ourselves today.
Yeah, so but you see, again, it's.
Are you going to tell me it's passed down from generation to generation?
It is because I can because
are we all robots? We all just
majority of us are. Unfortunately, majority of us are. Do you know?
And hold on, and that's shouldn't that be the problem?
Of course, that's the problem. And that's why I said the people are the problem. I already said the people are the problem.
It doesn't mean what you're talking about. If we are all robots, that means
majority of us are.
That means we are not the problem.
We are the problem.
It's our programming that is the problem.
Yes.
No.
And that's why I said. And
at this point, if we are all robots, like we're saying, which is we've been programmed to do this stuff. Hold on. I'm going by what you're saying because I said that don't mean robots. Yeah. I actually say we are. That means we're just a vessel.
Yes, but
hold on. That means we're just a vessel, and it means that whatever is being passed into us is the problem.
Yes. So
how come about 50, 60 years later? We are still being fed what happened to us 50 years ago.
Because it's
where's that coming from?
It's coming. It's like the people it's like Windows, right? Let's put it this way: Windows Word, right? Yeah. They just modified it, but it's still the same basics. You do IT. It's still the same probably basics that they added more to. Okay, so it's been, and that's why. Hold on, and that's why I said something, and you didn't. You probably you didn't know. Let me finish, and you probably didn't hear it. I said. If you want to change it, that's why I said it starts in the house. Because if you have a child, right? If you raise your child differently, I raise my child differently. I raise
my child differently when I'm already programmed in such a way where I have to pass that information to my child. And that's why I was raised by another parent that told me what you're telling me now, and then I'm passing it down.
And that's why the conversation. That's where the conversation started from. Well, that's where the revolution starts from. Every computer can be reformatted, right? Every hard drive can be reformatted, and and download something.
So when do we start? Because what you're saying right now about colonization and everything, hold on, it happened 50 years ago.
The revolution, some part of the revolution. Even more than that, the point is, some part of the revolution is started, and
I think what we need is exactly what I'm the question I'm asking, which is why I said, if I'm going by what you say, then forget it, it's not going to happen. Because the programming that you call colonization, and it's clear, is apparent, because like one of the things, the result of that is distrust, right? We don't trust each other. And that is not going to change tomorrow.
Yes, but
do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I know, but
so then it's not going to change at all.
No. It's not like it's not going to change at all. You see, that's why I said like the processes are happening now. We're becoming a little bit.
Are happening now? Because we're still not producing anything for ourselves.
What do you mean? I just gave you an M-Pesa as an example. You keep saying M-Pesa is like, what's our own thing.
No, but no. The conversation is bigger than that. But I like.
Of course, it's big.
I like the way you're trying to pick things, because
let's not.
Mobile money is a thing that I understand, and mobile money has been around now for almost 8 years?
More. It's more than a decade now.
Is it? Yeah, it was in 2000 and something, right?
It's more than a decade.
Because this is 2020. Yeah, it's definitely more than a decade. We talk about 2004, 5 maybe.
2007. That they launched the M-Pesa anyway. Yeah,
but just look at how well mobile money should have taken off, but it didn't.
What?
No, in terms of how many people do we have in Africa? We have 1.something billion people.
Yeah, and I cannot think of, like, at least even if I can't speak for the whole of Africa, and I even talk just for my country, Ghana, I can confidently say at least 95% of the people rely on mobile money. 95.
Yeah, but here's my point though. You see, with what mobile money is done, right? You would have thought with mobile money being because what mobile money has done for the continent of Africa is revolutionary.
Yeah.
Period. Like, it's been able to take a problem that people have, people's need. It's been able to eradicate it to a certain extent. You would have thought we would have basically take that and use that in different sectors, but that's not what's happening.
Well, what do you mean use that in different? Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, how can I explain it to you in such a way that I can explain myself clearly? For me, I feel looking at everything, which is why I asked the question I asked, because science is a way of pushing boundaries in so many things, medical at least for one anyways. We can talk about engineering as well and stuff like that. Like, you would think we know a problem. You know what I'm saying? No one can describe a problem more than you, right? That's why even when you go to the hospital, the doctor don't tell you you have headache. He asks you, tell me what's wrong with you. Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me this, tell me that. And then based on whatever you tell the doctor, he was able to tell you, oh, dude, you got cancer. Oh, dude, you have a headache. Oh, don't worry, you're fine. You just, just sleep it off, whatever it is. So you still get to give whatever symptoms it is that you're having to the doctor. And the same for us in Africa. We have so many issues we need to tackle. One of the things we rely on the most, which is a problem for all of us, is the fact that we rely on the government. But clearly, if we look at 50 odd years since we've been colonized, the government don't do anything for us. They try to. They do. But let's be honest. We can say they try, but we haven't even seen any significant change. Now, if we, the individuals, are able to push boundaries just like the rest of it, because if you look at America, for example, most of the stuff that has been happening to America is because of individuals in the country pushing boundaries. They did. Like, we can pick so many different companies that are now influential, like, all over the world. It's because an individual in his house thought about a problem like the mobile money thing and then decided to do something about it. Microsoft is one of that. Bill Gates, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, Tesla, what's his name? Elon Musk, that wants to leave the whole world alone and go to Mars. It's from America, right? If we all individually, as Africans, start tackling problem that applies to us in Africa, I think if we give us, my opinion anyways, I think you give us 5 or 10 years, we will take over the rest of the world as a continent. Because we have everything we need. We just not opening our minds. And which is why I appreciate what you're saying. It's because of the colonization and everything. I'm saying, well, wipe the operating system out, put a new one in. Period. We know what our problem is, right? But that's the point. Wipe it out and put a new one.
Yeah, but it's not just. That's the point of it. There's what's the thing called?
Format the hard drive.
Yeah, but we're trying to, and the point I'm trying, and that's why
we should try. I think we should just do it.
Yeah, but it's because these hard drives. It's not like there's what's it called? It's a central place that you go there and you just put in one I don't know.
So what would
one,
be okay? So what would you think we need to be able to just flip the switch?
Well,
can we not flip the switch? Like, because I think
there's only one way you can flip a switch, and that's what I call positive dictatorship, and that is happening in Rwanda.
Okay, the fact that you mentioned dictatorship, there's no positive in front of that.
There
right?
is,
Back,
but
right?
there is, and
it's
that's
a human
why.
being.
Yes,
so he's going to basically do what he or she thinks that it should be done, which is
but you see that's where the
no
problem.
Positive dictatorship.
There is, and that's look. It's like having your kid at home, right? If you're 5-year-old, just because dictatorship in itself is not necessarily negative, but it just have a negative connotation. No, it's not. It's like calling your kid Hitler. The name Hitler is not a bad thing. It just there was one Hitler that fucked it up for every Hitler that comes after that. The name Judas.
If you call your kid
the name
Hitler,
Judas.
Hold on. If you call your kid Hitler and everybody automatically think that kid is gonna kill a lot of Jews, then they're stupid for thinking that.
No, but that's what they're gonna think.
Yeah,
it's like Judas.
Wrong,
it's like Judas. Judas didn't start with the Judas that betrayed Christ, but you can't name your kid Judas now because of the connotation.
That's wrong.
Of course, and that's why I said, because if you take the word dictatorship on its own, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You understand the point I'm trying to make? And I'll give you an example of that. Think about it this way. Like, you got a 5-year-old at home, right? Yeah. Especially in the West. What do you think 5-year-olds in the West wants to do? Sweets. Motherfucker can eat sweets the whole day.
5 years old, anyone wants to do that.
No.
Anyone in the world, they want to do that.
No, when I was a kid, I didn't know much about sweets.
That's because you're not open.
That's the point.
To sweets.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's
why I said, you know.
I mean, you have the ones here. Sweets anyways.
Mine was more going out. Like, if they told you couldn't go out and play with your friends, that was like, what's wrong with you? You didn't want to go to school. But you look forward to going to school because you wanted to be with your friends.
No, I don't know any 5 years old anyone in the world that wants to go to school. I can tell you that right now.
I'm just saying, like, you know. And the point I'm trying to make with that is, but you also understand as a parent or as the adult in the house that 5-year-old can't survive just on sweets. Do you understand the point I'm trying to make? So there's times you're gonna go, yo, you can't have this sweets.
Dictatorship.
Yes. Now to the kid, what are you? You're a dictator. You are telling me at 10 o'clock in the morning I cannot shove my face with
but I don't
Haribo's.
think you talk about dictatorship
now,
as positive.
I
don't agree with you on that.
Okay, you don't. But I'll give you an example.
I'll tell you why. Ask me why. Go on. I'll tell you why I don't agree. Because dictatorship means somebody's driving the seats, right?
And that's
and when someone is driving the seats, what do you mean? You give them power to be able to do what they think is right. But nobody knows tomorrow. Okay? So whatever somebody thinks is right today could be wrong tomorrow.
Yeah, but you see.
But the reason why we will not be able to say anything is because they're dictatorship. Meaning, if you tell them to do something, if they tell you to do something and you don't do it, you'll be punished.
Let me put it this way:
because they're the one in the driver's seat.
But when I say,
so I don't think
let me
being a dictatorship.
That's why you know what I'm saying. That's why I put something in front of it, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean by the positive. You said somebody. When I say positive dictatorship, I'm not looking at somebody. I'm looking at a group of people, but not everybody in there. No, it is.
No, that's not.
It's a government like.
That's not organization. That's what we have.
Yes.
If you're talking about that, that's what we have in the world.
No, what we have democracy, which is a different ballgame.
Yeah, but that's not.
No, that's not dictatorship. Democracy means even if, like, for instance, this lockdown, right, that the government has given, even though technically it's good for us. No, I'm talking about.
They said stay home. Period.
No, they didn't dictate it because we had people in parliament, and those people in parliament represent us, and they agreed to it. Now, democracy, no, that's not dictatorship because you gave your vote to somebody, which is your local MP to be your voice in parliament. So you had a say. Now, let's assume, and that's why I said it's democracy, not dictatorship. Let's assume your MP, and a lot of the MPs went out there and they were like, nah, fuck this lockdown here. Like in Sweden, people do forget that Sweden hasn't got a lockdown.
Yeah.
Sweden, they're just partying.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, you do whatever you want to do because in them, they went to parliament and they're like, no, we don't want it. The point is, your MP, regardless of whatever the good thing could have been.
I'm sorry, right? Dictatorship is not.
That's what I'm saying, because you're dwelling on the word. Now, the reason why I said that, the reason why I use the word dictatorship, and the reason I like that word.
I think you lost me on that one.
And the reason why I like that word is, again, as I said, a lot of us are robots. I was going to use idiots, but I'm trying to be nice on this podcast. A lot of us are robots. The problem with a lot of us, yes.
Seriously?
I said I was going to use it. I didn't use it.
You kind of just said what you were going to use.
Yes.
Meaning you kind of using it, but you wanted to.
I'm using it in my head. But I'll use the word robot.
Like,
because
idiots. Why would we be idiots or robots? I don't understand. We have our own brain. We individuals.
In Ghana.
Thinking. we obviously respect people.
But some of us, our brains are really, really messed up.
Because we were raised, and that's because the things you perpetrated. We've been colonized, so therefore something's definitely wrong with us.
Yes,
because we need to.
And that's what. But being an idiot is not like. What do people? I always tell people don't look at the definition of words, right? They just look at it from an emotional point of view, and then they start getting. An idiot is not necessarily an insult.
What is it then? Are you kidding me? Like, you about to define, what's the definition of idiot?
A person of low intelligence. If you have a low intelligence, it's not your fault. It's not you could have low intelligence. You go build yourself up, and then you have more intelligence, and you're no longer an idiot. If you think,
I can't believe you just said that.
Now,
and you wanted to pass it off as just a normal statement.
Of course it is.
The definition of an idiot is a person of low interest,
no intelligence.
Interest, no intelligence, which you just said, right? Yeah. A person of low intelligence, and if a person is low, with
so you don't believe that some people have low intelligence? I'm asking a specific question.
We all have low intelligence.
No.
Hold on. I'm answering your question. We all have. Hold on. I'm answering your question.
No, you.
I am answering your question. Please do not tell me I have to answer your question, because then you're calling me an idiot. We all have low intelligence in different aspects of subjects, right?
Which means we can be an idiot in different aspects of subjects.
Exactly.
So why are you taking us an insult? So if I'm saying, how is it an insult?
When I'm communicating with you in a certain subject.
So you
and you telling me
which you have a low intelligence in. So if you go to a surgeon, I'm assuming you're not a surgeon because I haven't seen you cutting up people. But that's why I said I'm assuming. That's why I said I am assuming.
I could be sleepwalking into a theater room.
I said I'm assuming.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay, I'll use myself as an example because at least I know what I do.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. I'm not a surgeon.
You're an idiot.
When it comes to surgery, I'm an idiot in surgery.
Nah.
There are certain people who are idiots in most things.
Finish that definition of an idiot, please.
I just finished it. That's what it says.
Because if you haven't studied anything in a particular subject, you don't need to know anything about it. So how could you be an idiot in that? You don't have low intelligence.
There's a difference between
you have no intelligence.
No. At all. There's a difference between an intelligence and not being ignorant about something.
I'm not even talking about being ignorant. I'm not talking about being intelligent. I have clue about it.
Yeah, so you're ignorant of it. You know, it doesn't mean you have low intelligence of it. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Ignorant.
Ignorant means you have no idea about it. Intelligent means
no.
That's what ignorance means.
I have no idea about something. It means I have no idea about it. I cannot be
because there are synonyms in the world. There are synonyms. There was that. Look, ignorance, lack of knowledge or information. That's what I'm saying. So if you have no idea, if you don't have the info about something, you're ignorant of it.
Why do people say you're being ignorant?
Because that means you have no idea about it.
No, that's
it's not an insult.
I'll tell you why.
Unless you think you have an idea and they think you don't have an idea,
exactly
then that's a different thing. That's why I said.
That's why it's being perpetrated as an insult.
No, but that's what
because I'm talking about somebody like you've been ignorant, but I'm like, no, I'm not being ignorant. You're like, yeah, you've been ignorant.
Yes, so that's a different conversation that you're having now. I said if somebody have a low intelligence about something, and there's a lot of people with low intelligence.
Calling somebody an idiot is an insulting word.
How is it an insult anyway?
I don't care how you're going to swing it. Because what you're telling me is I have no knowledge. I have low intelligence in this stuff.
You have low intelligence, and there are certain things people have low intelligence about, which, and even myself included, there are certain things I have low intelligence. Now, the best thing to do is to shut up and then learn more about it, instead of showing your low intelligence and coming across as an idiot.
That's why it's an insult.
How is that an insult?
Because of what you just said right now. That statement you just made. The best thing is to shut up.
Yes, because
that's why it's an insult. Exactly that.
Intelligence. Intelligence is the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skill. So you need the knowledge and you need the skill. It's not all of us that have a knowledge and skill about certain things, and that's why.
I agree with you though.
So if I call you an idiot, whenever you have no knowledge and you have no skill of a particular thing, and you are offended, then it's your own problem.
Hold your horses. Yes, the thing though. What's an intelligence? Skills, knowledge, right?
No, you have knowledge and you got a skill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Skills, knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? What does that imply? It means I have to spend time to gain the knowledge and have the skills. Time bound. So here's the thing I'm asking you. Here's the thing I'm telling you.
And an idiot is somebody. Let's define an idiot first as well.
I'm not going to hold an idiot. Listen, if I have not spent time on a particular thing, in this case a subject, and I have not literally spent time to get the skills on that particular subject, am I an idiot?
No, you're ignorant.
on that. So
No, you are ignorant.
Okay, cool.
If you spend time and then you don't gain enough knowledge and you don't gain enough skill, now your skill level is very low. Your knowledge level is very low. So, for instance, some people know 1 + 1 is 2, but they don't know what board mass is. They don't know how to solve a quadratic equation. They don't know how. They don't know how.
I hope you know you see yourself in the fool.
I'm not shooting myself.
I'll tell you why you see yourself in the fool, right? Because you already said it. So I spent time, right?
Some time.
Yeah, I spent time. Okay.
Yeah.
I spent time. Sometime relative.
Yeah.
It's a very relative thing. Okay, but I spent time. Okay. And I didn't gain the skills.
You didn't gain enough. Not no skills. You didn't gain enough skills or enough knowledge.
So
therefore, you're an idiot.
And you still don't say it as an insult.
How's that an insult? That's what I just said.
Okay, fine. let me now take it a step further. So now I'm sitting in front of you that spent some time.
Yeah.
And to acquire the skills and knowledge.
Yes.
So therefore,
but it's low.
Hold on. No, I'm sitting in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
We both acquire the skills and knowledge.
Yes.
But my skills and knowledge, according to you, is low in relation to yours. So if you call me an idiot, is that an insult?
No. It's just a
so
fact.
What makes you think you know
it's
more
a fact.
than me? We
Because,
both spend time
okay,
on it.
all right, let's put it this way. As you said, no, of course. And that's where it comes
that
in.
Makes me
now, let's say we both went to uni, right? As you said, I'm gonna make it simpler. We both went to uni. We both did a mathematical course, right?
Yeah.
We both did the same course.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the same uni. Taught by the same teacher. Okay. And we both, after 3 years.
You don't see this. I don't understand.
Just hear me out.
I'm listening to you. I'm listening. How could you not see it?
Because
I know where you're going.
You see, it's gonna be like I'm always talking about we should cut.
This.
So now we've come out.
I know where you're going with this.
They give us a math question. 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, no, 1 + 1 = what? And now they've given us,
2.
x squared plus blah,
4.
blah, blah, whatever it is. They're giving us some matrices to
X.
solve or some differentiation question to solve, right? And then they're giving us, I don't know, some integration questions and stuff like that.
Deviation result?
Whatever. Now, all you could do is 1 + 1 = 2. When it came to the integration question, you had no idea. Not even like you could even attempt it. You had no idea. When it came to the differentiation question, zero idea. When it came to the matrices, zero idea. When it came to, the mechanics question, zero. When it came to the stats question, zero idea. So out of 10 questions, you were able to solve 1. Out of 10 questions, I banged out all 10. And I come out.
You weren't even able to say, I was able to solve 9. No, everything. Yeah.
So now we come out and we talking. Yo, dude, what did you get? Nah, nigga, I got 1 out of 10. 10%. You don't even know what 10% is because you just start to get me so bad anyway. Now.
You're very insultive right now. The way you talk right now is very insultive. But I'm liking it. Go ahead.
Now.
Go ahead.
You asked me, bro, what did you get?
10 over
I got
10.
10 out of 10, 100%, nigga. And now I go, oh, dude, you're an idiot when it comes to maths. And now you're offended. Why are you offended?
Why won't I be?
Because you don't understand the language. You
Which
don't understand the English language. The English language says an idiot is somebody who has low knowledge because you weren't ignorant, because you were able to solve at least 1. So at least you have low knowledge and low skill. 10% is low.
Hold on. I think
so. Is that person not an idiot?
I think I get your point. But yeah, before I would know whether you're completely missing the point because this is flying over your head. Let's get the definition of insult. Okay, no. You're not gonna get away with that.
It's not about me getting away with it because
you're trying to make your point, and every point you've made, I don't know how you seem to omit the fact that you're making a point of exactly what it is. This is an insult because the scenario just explained to you that you gave the scenario that this is an insult.
How is that an insult?
But what's the definition of insult?
An insult is a disrespectful or scornful, abusive remark.
Don't
or
say
act.
Like, read it properly.
Yeah,
like
that's what it says.
Like you read.
Well, you want the noun or the verb?
It doesn't matter. Just give me, because I don't want to do it.
No, because now it's got a noun one and it's got a verb one. So you have to tell me.
Give me the noun, because
So a noun of an insult is a disrespectful or scornfully abusive remark or act.
Okay, cool. What about the verb?
The verb speak to or treat with disrespect or scornful abuse. So it's the same thing. Now,
if I get 1 over 10 in the math question that you've clearly explained, and you get 10 over 10, and then you come to me and go, dude, what did you get? And I go 1 over 10. You're like, do you know you're an idiot? Is that not disrespectful?
How is it disrespectful?
That's not. How is that not disrespectful?
It's
different from if you go, Oh, Miss Norbert, let me sit you down and explain to you how you could probably get 10 over 10 next time.
Why do I need to do that?
What? The fact that you even talking like that is insulting. It's a very insulting statement to make. Why do I need to do that? You're an idiot. You should have known.
No. I didn't add that. You're adding that. No, I'm saying no.
Insinuating.
No, I didn't insinuate. No, I'm saying it's not my problem. If somebody is so let me get this straight. So let's flip it. Let's flip it.
I have no knowledge and skills.
Hold on. Let's flip it.
Why would you feel?
Let's say you got 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right. And I got 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I came and went, oh, you are brilliant. That's not an insult, eh? That one is not an insult. But if I come and say you are, if I say you are brilliant, you're not being disrespectful. But if I say you are an idiot, that's being disrespectful. So let me get this straight.
One of it is positive. The other one is negative.
No, one of the it's all based on your performance. One of it acknowledges the fact that you got 10 out of 10.
Which is a positive thing.
So
you got 10 out of 10.
No, and the other one also, acknowledges the fact that you got 1 out of 10, and you are offended. So you see, you're not offended at what I said. You're offended at your own performance because you realize that you are an idiot, and now you are an idiot because you realize that you have low skill and you have low knowledge, and now you're offended at yourself. And
it's fine. So an idiot is not. It's not an insult.
No, anything can be an insult. It's the same. Like even
but an idiot to you is not an insult.
An idiot on its own. If you take contextual meaning out of it,
no, we're not.
No,
we're not, because every scenario is
then even me,
every
then
scenario
me even giving
has a contextual meaning.
Even then me saying you are brilliant is even an insult. So if you got 1 out of 10, hold on. If you got 1 out of 10, yeah, it is. It can be because
it can be. Yes.
No, that's why I say if you don't take contextual. If you go 1 out of 10, and I came, oh, you are brilliant, and you don't think that's an insult.
That's condescending. Yeah, so that's an insult.
There we go. So the word brilliant can be an insult.
Of course it can.
There we go. So of course, so the same way an idiot can be an insult, but that's why I said if you take a contextual meaning,
said idiot is not an insult.
Yes, on its own as a word. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not an insult. The meaning of it is not an insult.
That's what you meant. Well, you should have just said that at the very beginning. Of course, it's not an insult on its own. But when you use it to somebody,
yes, no, of course, yes, no, of course, different scenario. The scenario
you're talking about somebody of low intelligence.
Yes. So which is not an insult. It's just a matter of the description of your intelligence level. That's all it is. And if you're offended by your intelligence level, then go upgrade your intelligence level.
How smart you've been right now. You're playing with words the best way you know how. It's like you're playing. I don't know. You're playing. What's it called? You're gambling.
Look,
that's kind of what you do right now.
All I'm saying is
that's not all you're saying. The point is you, apart from the rest of the world, just you don't see idiot as an insult. It's fine. That's
idiot used to be a medical term, right?
Nah. Call it whatever you.
No. Do you know that? Do you know it used to be a medical term?
I don't know that. Why would I need to? Because I'm a person of low intelligence when it comes to that. So I don't know that. So I guess I'm an idiot.
Idiot, imbecile, they all used to be a medical term.
Imbecile is also an insult.
All right, just wrap up.
I don't know what's wrong with you. Like you just want to manipulate English language now.
I just read you the definition of these. You are the one manipulating it. You are only putting contextuals and stuff like that.
Because you can't have a word without putting any context in it.
I read you the no.
You can't just say you're beautiful without anything being contextual.
But that's why I said that no.
Oh, you're ugly. No one just look at a beautiful person and say they're ugly, and then the beautiful person will go, "You're right." No, because if 10 people tell somebody they're pretty, and then 11th person told them you're ugly, they'll go, "Yeah, you don't know what you're doing."
Nah, of course. Actually, they'll actually go and cry because they will say like, "Yeah, I'm ugly." Now the point is this:
right. They ignore the 10.
Take the word shit, for example. I was gonna use the F word, but that one might make this thing into another thing. Shit, for example, right? Shit on its own is nothing. It means something. It's poo. Like it means something.
No,
but contextual wise, it can mean a lot of things. We can say you are the shit.
Itself means nothing.
It means something.
Context you put it in.
No, the word itself means something.
Feces could be used to describe what you just
you'd call it shit on its own. It's actually that. Now, when you try to use it in different things because of modern language, that's when contextual meaning comes in. So you are the shit.
How do we get up in English class?
It's you that brought it up because I used the word idiot to describe people, and I didn't even get around to that. But anyway, all I was gonna say was a lot of people are idiots. Since I'm not even gonna use the word. A lot of people are idiots. Therefore, they need boundaries. And if you apply the boundaries right, then the society can go on. And that's why, for instance, we have speed. what's it called, speed cameras and all these other things. Because if you leave us to our devices, we know that we are not supposed to drive 40 miles in a small place because kids are playing and everything.
We have the skills, but we just choose to ignore it. That's not.
No, we have. We haven't. No, we haven't got.
You just said you know that
you need both. You need both. Doesn't it? It's not just the knowledge. But we haven't got a skill.
Per hour,
yeah, but they haven't got a skill.
They're behind the wheels. How could they not have the skills?
No, the skill to apply the knowledge. It's not the driving skill that I'm talking about. The intelligence that you can actually kill a kid. No, I'm not. No, because there's a different. Because when they have the knowledge, they don't no knowledge of driving. They have the knowledge that about speed, right? But they don't have the skill to understand that they could kill somebody. Because most of them ignore that. They, as a matter of fact, I've seen people
ignore it. Doesn't mean they don't have it.
No, because they don't have it.
If you just sit there, you don't want to play with words now.
No,
because I'm listening to every word you're saying, and you're saying the right buzzwords.
The point
choosing to ignore the buzzwords.
As you said, ignore. If you're ignoring something, it means you haven't been acknowledged. You don't know it. It doesn't even exist.
So if you said it, how could you not know it? You said it. You said it, and you say you don't know it. I mean, the definition
they ignore it because I
knowing something is not even being able to say it at all.
Not necessarily.
Oh my God, seriously. No, we're not in an English class now, but you're making us look like we should go and study English.
So you're telling me if you saw a Benz, right? I'm just saying.
Why do you go to a car right now?
No, I'm giving us an example.
Just went to a car.
I'm giving us an example.
Right. I'm listening to your example.
And it's a lot because I said I hate when these things drag on. Anyway.
I knew you were going to say at some point.
Yes, I've been trying to say that for the last half an hour. But look, if you go to the pygmies, right, who lives in the Congo, the deep forest of Congo, right, and these people are just hunter-gatherers. And they still live like that up to today because they don't want to fuck with whatever we call
society.
They don't want to fuck whatever we call civilization or whatever the fuck we want to call it. They like the idea of hunting, and that's why they're even mad that people are stealing their forests and those kind of stuff. And they're trying to petition the government to give them a reserve where people can just come in and do whatever so that they can keep feeding themselves and stuff like that. But anyway, that's a long history about the pygmies. The point is, if you go drop a Benz in the pygmies place now, right? Apart from the ones that at times they do like the Mormons, some of them will go away and come back, but most of them stay. Like the ones that stay, right? That don't want to go fuck with the other part of the world and come back, right?
When you go out, you can never go back.
No. Well, they could come back. They're not like that. They're not like the Mormons. The Mormons, they give you one chance to go out and you make a decision. You coming back or you going. Right? But anyway, what I'm saying is,
the way they behave.
Of course, if you put a Benz there, right? For the ones that have never been out and haven't seen, so they've seen it, but I don't think they will have an idea of what it is. So
they're ignorant.
Yeah. So
they're not idiots.
No, so I didn't say
they're not idiots. They're ignorant.
I said they will ignore. That's what I said. I was talking about the people.
Ignorant. They're not idiots.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
they
idiots.
They don't have knowledge and skills, but it's low.
That's not what you're talking about. I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the fact. I was talking about when people are not applying the skill of that you could kill somebody that they ignore. That's what I said. That ignorance comes from ignore. So when they see the car, right, they have, because they have less knowledge of it and those kind of stuff, or they have less skills about what it is.
No knowledge of it, not less knowledge. They have no knowledge of it.
No, they'll have some knowledge of it. They could, because they know methods. They know methods, so they can come hit.
Hold on. You have an environment where all they do and know that they're not idiots on. okay, I'm using your words.
Yeah.
They're not idiots on is hunt and do whatever, forage, whatever in the forest. So then you've taken a foreign thing entirely that they know nothing about and dump it there. Mm-hmm. So according to your words, they have no knowledge of this. They have no skills about this stuff because they know nothing about this stuff. So they're ignorant of this because they know nothing about it. They know nothing of it. They don't even know why a car is called a car. They don't know that because they've never seen it before. They've never encountered it. They don't know. Like, this is not part of their daily successful activities that they do on a daily basis.
Yeah, so they're ignorant.
Yeah, they're ignorant. So they have no knowledge.
No, but the point of, they have knowledge of the full thing. But when they hit the car, just hear me out. When they hit the car, they'll realize it's a metal. So they will know that they're catalyzed and those kind of things.
Now they're about to start having knowledge of it. But when you just dump it there,
of course, when you dump it, of course,
they're ignorant of it. They know nothing of
course.
Yeah. So what's your point? Because that's not.
That's
I'm
not my
basically
point.
trying to tell you that.
No,
because when you say they have knowledge of it, they don't.
No,
they don't
I said they have.
They don't even know the thing has a battery. They don't know what the engine is. They don't know what the boot is.
That's not.
They don't even know it can hold.
I was.
How many seaters of a car?
I said that's why I said that's
they don't
why
even know it was meant to be satin. Like
I already talked about the fact that they will be ignorant at first, and I said, of course, eventually when they start tapping, they wouldn't know that it's a car that moves from A to B, or unless they saw you bring it in and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say is when they start tapping it. For instance, when they exploit, that's the right word. When they exploit, they'll realize, it might be made as the same material as and that's the point I'm trying to make. That's all I was trying to make.
What's your point with that?
My point with that is, and I was just bringing it back. I was talking about the fact that ignorance.
Being ignorant.
Just wrap up.
No, I'm listening to you. I'm just saying.
Let's wrap up. It's already past 1.5 hours.
I'm trying to know where you're going with this.
As a matter of fact, this thing has gone from political. And that's not even, I didn't even know we're going to even end up here.
I'm trying to know where you're going with it. I'm just saying.
What I was going with, look, all I'm saying is words have their original meaning and they have contextual meaning. Right.
But
now,
society defines that, though, right? Society defines it.
The society only defines the contextual meaning. They don't define the word's meaning. They don't. Unless they come up.
FUCK didn't mean what it means now when it was created, right? But now when we use it, it's like
as you said, when you use it, that's what I said. So the context, the original meaning of the word doesn't change. The context that you use it is what changed. So if I stepped on your foot and you screamed, "Oh, FUCK," and if you saw a fine woman and you go, "Would you like to go do FUCK?"
I'm sure.
So isn't that different?
I can answer you, but I think we're gonna go into a different area.
There we go. So wrap up and let's go.
I'm sure when we started this conversation, it wasn't meant to get here.
No,
it was completely different.
And where we are is a whole different,
completely take a whole 360 degrees and turn.
There's not 360 will bring us back to our original spot.
Yeah,
so
we're
it's not
up right now. So that's our
so
spot.
that's
we
at
started,
least.
And we're so we're back to. I mean, we're going from beginning to end. So we're back to 360. But I guess you're right as well with that one. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean. Now you perfectly cool with calling people idiots and you don't call it an insult. But I don't think you should go around calling people idiots because they will see it as an insult.
Well, if I see
regardless of whatever you think it is, they will see it as an insult. Calling somebody an idiot in today's world, I don't even know. Even in any world, I think if you go to Mars, they will still see it as an insult. Okay, in any world, they will see it as an insult. Telling people they have low intelligence and skills, like, come on now, come on.
Well, for people who are confident in their knowledge and they are confident in their skill, and then won't be offended when they call them idiot, they know there's an opportunity for them to go, increase their knowledge and skill.
I agree with you, but it's still an insult.
Okay. If it makes you sleep well at night,
I sleep fine, even without it being an insult or being an insult. I don't care. I'm just saying. Be watchful. That's how people get punched in the face. Okay, calling people an idiot will get you punched in the face. If you're violent people. But people, thank you so much for listening to us. It's been another one. I mean, you should have learned something from this one. Because this was an English class. Okay, you should have learned something. Because I did. You know what I mean? Idiot means people of low intelligence. Intelligence means you have skills and knowledge. And if you have low of that, you're an idiot. Okay? An insult means you're being disrespectful. All right? Okay? And Nana was being disrespectful in this podcast. Not particularly to anyone, because it wasn't directing it to anyone, but it was being disrespectful. Okay, but he thinks it's not. So I guess we can give him benefit of the doubt. Because one of the things we do well is to get along with each other, regardless of our differences. Okay, so thank you, people, for joining us.
And for the people that are offended, English is not my first language. I only learned it from the dictionary.
Yeah, but you didn't even say the meaning from your opinion. Google gave you the...
Yeah, that's what I said. I learned from the dictionary.
Yeah, so you're fine. It's all right. They can be offended, but they're not offended at you. They're offended at the translation that you just read. It's fine. It's cool. I mean, you can't stop people from being offended. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Okay? Just like you think it's not an insult. It is what it is. So if I call you an idiot right now, you can't say as an insult. You can't be insulted.
I'll ask you, what knowledge am I lacking and what skills am I lacking?
But you won't be insulted.
No.
Exactly.
I would like to find out what maybe I need to improve on certain things anyway.
But if I call someone else an idiot, I can get punched in the face. Okay. So you can't.
I've seen somebody call somebody beautiful and then another person punch them in the face, but that's a different story.
Yeah, if you call my girl beautiful and I'm right beside my girl, I'll punch you in the face. Only me can tell my girl she's beautiful, not you.
Oh, okay.
What kind of, or you tell my girl she's beautiful and she smiles like she hasn't seen anything nice that has ever been said to her before. I'll punch you in the face and ask her, do you want to go with him? But anyways, thank you so much for joining us. It's been another lovely episode. Yeah, I quite learned a lot from this one, but I don't even know how we end up where we ended up. But I guess, like everything, it just take a life of his own. It took a life of his own and it rolled with it. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been another lovely episode. Up until next time, thank you. Peace.